Hi Year 5, it's Nicole. I'm here to teach you some SPaG, my favourite thing to teach. So I'll take you through the slides and that might help you. So today we're doing the active and passive voice. What do those words mean, active and passive? Well, we've got some pictures there. You can see active, someone climbing a mountain, going down the slide, playing basketball. Active is being active. And then you've got passive, and that person's being passive. If you look at the picture on the right of the rabbit and the tortoise, the rabbit is being very active in work, whereas the tortoise is being very passive. And passive is you just letting things happen rather than being the person who does the things. Have a think about the words formal and informal, because in writing, sometimes we want our writing to be formal and sometimes we don't need it to be formal, it can be informal. On the slide, I've got some pictures of, on the left, I've got people in formal outfits, and on the right, you can see somebody in a formal outfit and somebody in an informal outfit. So when we're thinking about formal and informal writing, formal is your writing that's for an important person, someone more official, whereas informal writing is maybe for your friends, for people you really know. So that's how we differentiate. Now, are newspapers and science writing formal or informal? They're formal pieces of writing, and this week we're doing an explanation text, and that needs to be formal. Why are we talking about formal and informal? Well, because in our formal writing we often use the passive voice, which we're going to learn about today. Now, when we are talking about grammar, we have a funny way of labelling different words in the sentence. We have a subject. Now, your subject is the person who is doing in the sentence. Every clause has a subject and a verb. Always someone or something that is doing something. The verb is the action. It's what is being done. And the object is the thing or the person that it's being done to. So we're going to look at some examples now. The dog ate the child's homework. Now, firstly, we need to think about the subject of the sentence. Who or what is doing? Now, I can see in this sentence that it is the dog that is the subject. The dog is the doer because the verb is ate. The past tense of eat, he ate or she ate the child's homework. And the object of the sentence, what is being eaten, is the child's homework. Now our next example is the school children run the Larkhall town shop. Now I want you guys to think about this one, which is the subject, the verb and the object of the sentence. Have a think. That's right, the subject of the sentence is the school children. The verb, what's happening, what's being done, is run. They're running the shop. And the object, what they're running, is the Larkhall town shop. Well done if you got that right. And the final example is Nicole cleaned the whiteboard yesterday. Now you can do this in a different way. You can think about the verb of the sentence. What's being done? The thing that's being done is it's being cleaned. So who is the doer? Is it Nicole or is it the whiteboard? The doer is Nicole. Nicole is cleaning. And what is she doing it to? What's the object of the sentence? The whiteboard. Now yesterday is an adverb, so it's not the subject, the verb or the object. Now the sentences that we just looked at were active voice sentences. Now the passive voice switches around the subject and the object so they're the other way round. So the object goes first and then the verb and the subject goes at the end. Sometimes you don't even need to include the subject in the sentence. For example, the whiteboard was cleaned yesterday by Nicole. You don't necessarily have to write by Nicole. And what was the dog ate the child's homework, we now have the child's homework, object first, was eaten by the dog. Again, we don't have to say by the dog. We could just say the child's homework was eaten. So that's why we usually use the passive voice when what happens is more important than who did it. So we start with what happened, and sometimes we don't even mention who did it. Sometimes we don't know. Now here's a quick quiz to see if you've been listening. Number 1, where does the subject go in a passive voice sentence? So that's the doer of the sentence. So does it go at the beginning, the middle, or the end? Number 2, you usually use the passive voice when A, writing a formal text, B, writing an informal text, or C, when what is being done is more important than who did it. Now, if you're not sure, go back in the video or the slides to have a look for the answers. Okay, if you're feeling confident about the active and passive voice, have a look at the following sentences and decide which one is in the active voice and which one's in the passive voice. Harry ate 6 shrimp at dinner. At dinner, 6 shrimp were eaten by Harry. Is the first one active or passive? Next example. Sue changed the flat tyre. The flat tyre was changed by Sue. And we are going to watch a movie tonight. A movie is going to be watched by us tonight. Now, which ones are the active voice and which ones are the passive voice? Have a think. Okay, here are the answers. So the first example, Harry ate 6 shrimp at dinner. At dinner, 6 shrimp were eaten by Harry. Now I'm looking for the verb. What's actually happening? He ate or they were eaten. So Harry is the person who's doing that. He's doing the eating. And what's the object of the sentence? 6 shrimp. And so I know the first one is active and the second one is passive, because the object comes first in the passive voice sentence. Now the second one, Sue changed the flat tyre, or the flat tyre was changed by Sue. Now which is the object? The flat tyre is the object, and it's done by Sue. Sue is the subject and the verb is changed. As you can see, the passive voice, it's got a different way of putting the verb. So it was changed by, were eaten by, and you always have the word by in the passive voice. If you put the subject at the end. Sometimes we just have 6 shrimp were eaten. We don't put by Harry, or the tyre was changed. And we don't put the subject by Sue. In the last example, we're going to watch a movie tonight, or a movie is going to be watched by us. We are the people going to be watching it. Now, in the passive voice, it changes to us, by us. We can't say by we, so we say by us. It means the same. It's the same thing. It's just a different pronoun. Then I'm looking for my verb, which is watch. And I can see that the top one must be active because it's got the subject first and the object, the movie, is second. And the passive voice sentence, movie, is first, which is the object. Right, now for your assignment. Here are some sentences in the active voice. I would like you to tell me what they would be in the passive voice. Now this is going to help you with your science explanation writing, because when you do your explanation text next week, you're going to be trying to use the passive voice, so thinking about what has been done rather than who did something. Now there's also a quiz, a PowerPoint quiz, if you go to the rest of the assignment. If you're feeling really confident with active and passive, you can test yourself. Good luck.